It's Fans Corner. Welcome to it, and thank you for making time for us. I've decided let's make time for a preview video where we preview games that haven't played yet, the games that are going to be playing on the weekend of the 27th and the 28th of September. So I've decided let's do that because we've got some time. Let's just talk about the games that are the upcoming games and see what to expect from those particular games. We know Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs will be involved in continental competitions. Chiefs will be involved in the CAF Confederations Cup. Orlando Pirates are involved in the CAF Champions League. Let's start with the Orlando Pirates game. We know Orlando Pirates are already 3-0 ahead in terms of the aggregate of that particular game. So, which means if they are to be knocked out, they'll have to concede at least 3 goals without reply, or any other bizarre score beyond that, where Dioli will score more than 3 goals and maybe Pirates scores 1. If it's let's say a 4-1 in favor of Dioli, then it favors Dioli because that would be a 4-4 draw, where Dioli would have scored more away goals. But that's just that's us dreaming of things that are possible. But anything is possible in football. But I think this one is more of a formality for Orlando Pirates. I think they are through into the next round of the CAF Champions League. All the best to Orlando Pirates. We wish them well as a South African team. Now let's go to the Kaizer Chiefs game. Kaizer Chiefs will be taking on Cabasco of Angola. We saw the previous game, Kaizer Chiefs failing to score and conceding very late in that particular game, which means now Kaizer Chiefs are trailing in terms of the aggregate score. Kaizer Chiefs are 1-0 behind. This is a game that will be taking place at the FNP Stadium at 3 o'clock on Saturday. I think the two games, the Pirates game and the Chiefs game, are taking place at the same time. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit tricky for us to do Fans Corner post-match reaction videos for that particular game. But we'll see what is it that we can do. We'll probably choose one game and just talk about the other one in terms of the score without watching it, because I've tried this thing of watching 2 games at the time. It really, really drains me. Ends up becoming difficult to talk about the game. As a Kaizer Chiefs fan, I'm probably going to be watching the Chiefs game. And that's probably because it will be more competitive. The Pirates game is almost done and dusted, let's be honest. So if Kaizer Chiefs have their job cut out for them on this particular game, yes, this is a team that on paper might look like it's a pushover, but if they were a pushover, Chiefs should have won the first game, the first leg of this particular game, and they did not win that part. The first leg, they lost. A draw would have been something else, but they lost. Now they are running a risk, a big risk of being knocked out in the preliminary stages of this particular competition. Just after returning to the CAF competitions, and you're going to be knocked out by a team from Angola. Not disrespect to teams from Angola, I'm just saying, man. I mean, we've got a bigger league here. We've got stronger teams in the South African league. This is Kaizer Chiefs. So we really expected Kaizer Chiefs to not make a big deal out of this particular fixture. But here we are now, praying and hoping that they win. But if they are to make it through, I think the best thing that Chiefs can do or should do for this particular game is to make sure that they don't concede. Number one, before we go talk about not conceding, because not conceding is another big issue here. Chiefs have to make sure they get the first goal and early. If Chiefs get the first goal early, then they stand a big chance. And the momentum will be with Kaizer Chiefs probably for the whole game if they score early and give themselves a chance to get a second goal to kill the game. But the other thing, they must make sure that they don't concede, because if they concede, they would have now conceded an away goal and they are 2-0 down, which means scoring 2 goals won't be enough, because it will put them at 2-2 aggregate, whereby Cabasco has already scored an away goal and Cabasco will win the tie via the away goal rule, because we know it's CAF, we still have the away goal rule. So this is going to be a tricky one for Kaizer Chiefs. They have to balance their things out. They have to make sure they don't concede, and they have to make sure that they score early. I think the best thing is to score early and make sure that they put this team on the back foot early on, and make sure that they keep they ride on the momentum of the crowd, if there is to be any crowd. And I have a fear that the crowd on that Saturday game might not be. You know how we are South Africans with these competitions, especially Kaizer Chiefs fans. I'm not bad-mouthing Kaizer Chiefs fans, I know. most of the time we don't take these games serious until the later stages of the competition. But if anything, Chiefs needs support right now in this stage of the competition, especially as a team that is trailing by 1-0. So we wish Kaizer Chiefs well. As a Kaizer Chiefs fan, I'm really hoping that we can turn over this. It can be done. I'm pretty sure it can be done. I've saw the two teams play against each other in the first leg, and I feel like there's Kaizer Chiefs should have enough to put this game behind them. Okay, now let's move away from the CAF competitions. Let's now move to the Betway Premiership on Saturday the 27th. How many games are these? That's 4 games that will be taking place. We've got Golden Arrows against Orbit College. I think Golden Arrows as a high flying, they would have their confidence is high. They are high flying in confidence right now after the win that they were able to get against Mamelodi Sundowns. So I think I'll give this one to Golden Arrows. Also, I think Orbit College won their previous game. I think, am I right? Let me just confirm. Yes, Orbit College also won against Polokwane City in their previous game, which then means we've got 2 teams that are coming from, both of them are coming from a 1-0 win. They're both confident. This should make for a very good game of football, actually. But I'll tip Golden Arrows to win this one. Okay, now then we've got Polokwane City against Sekhukhune United. Polokwane City, I've just said now, they lost to Orbit College in the previous game. Polokwane City lost to Orbit College, and then Sekhukhune United were able to secure a draw down at Chippa United. That controversial game of football. Bradley Grobler scoring in the penalty in the very dying minutes of the game. I think Sekhukhune United have a little bit more. I'll tip Sekhukhune United to win this one to continue their occupation of the top spot on the Betway Premiership right now. Durban City versus CAFCC. Oh, I don't know what to make of this one. I think I'll call a draw on this one. Just my I don't think I have enough information about these two teams to make a prediction. But having watched Magesi in the previous game, and then having watched also Durban City, I think the last time I watched Durban City was the game they lost against Sundowns, and I feel they are a decent team. So I don't think I have enough information to make a call on this game. Magesi versus Durban City. Let me just give it a draw. And then there's a big one later on at night. Mamelodi Sundowns against Richards Bay. I'm assuming this one will be taking place at, let me check, Lucas Muripe Stadium. It says so here, but sometimes on these football apps, they will say this game is taking place at this stadium and it will be taking place at another stadium. Case in point, the game between Golden Arrows and Mamelodi Sundowns, the apps were saying the game will be taking place at Sugar Ray Xulu Stadium, but the game actually took place at the Kingswell Tini Stadium. So, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Mamelodi Sundowns against Richards Bay. It's going to be it's a big game for Sundowns, especially coming back from a defeat from one KZN side, moving to another KZN side. Yes, this time around they'll be playing at home. So, but it's Sundowns, man. In every game, we always tip Sundowns to win the game. We tipped them to win the previous game and they lost. Richards Bay, the game that they're coming from, excuse me, they're undefeated in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, actually, Richards Bay. Richards Bay are on a good roll right now. They are on a good streak. In the previous 5 games, they've won 3 and drawn 2. So I think they're on a very good trajectory, Richards Bay. So they are not going to be an easy team to put away, because in their 5 games that I'm mentioning, they beat Chippa United, they drew against Welele, they drew against TS Galaxy. TS Galaxy is a very decent and a robust team. They beat Stellenbosch and they also beat Magesi FC. I think that's a decent run. They are on a good run right now, Richards Bay. Sundowns are not on a good run. They lost in the previous game. They are only as good as your previous game. So this is going to be an interesting one. This is definitely one to watch out for, because remember what I said in the previous video, for those who did watch the video. Sundowns are not known for dropping too many points. They've already dropped 4 points in 4 games as compared to last season, where they dropped they dropped points in 4 games in the whole season. Right now they've played 9 games and they've dropped points in 4 games already. So if they drop points on this particular game against Richards Bay, even a draw, that will be, I think that will send alarms. The alarm bells should start ringing at Sundowns, because this would be new to them, because that would mean they would have dropped points in half of their games, because they would have played that the game they're playing against Richards Bay is game number 10, and they would have won 5 and lost. Let me not talk about. Let's just say dropped points in another 5. So it's a very big game. It's a serious. It's going to be a difficult game for Sundowns, and it's going to be a big game. But if there's any team that knows how to turn things around, it's Sundowns. But what a team to have to do it against a team that hasn't been beaten in the past 5 games, with the 60% pass record. Win record in the past 5 games. So it's going to be a tricky one for Mamelodi Sundowns. And then on Sunday, let's wrap it up with the Sunday game. Sunday, we've got, I see here they still have Orlando Pirates, but that one will be postponed, because Galaxy and Pirates is postponed. Siwelele against Marumo Gallants. So it's a Bloemfontein derby. We know Marumo Gallants at the beginning, they were a Limpopo team, but now they play most of their games, home games, at the in Bloemfontein. So this is going to be an interesting one between the two teams that play their home games in Bloemfontein. This is one to watch, actually. I'm probably going to enjoy this one because of the crowd. I know it's going to be a very good one in terms of the vibe and the crowd down in Mangaung. Siwelele are not doing well. Siwelele are at the bottom, are at the foot of the table. I think they're second from the bottom, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just confirm that. Yes, Siwelele, actually they are number 16. Just behind Chipa United. It's not looking good for Siwelele. Marumo Gallants are on position 10 with 10 points on the table. Siwelele are on 4 points and position 16. It's not looking good for Siwelele. They have to start turning the table around, because once you get to game week number 10 and you are still there at the bottom, you are running a risk of spending the whole season fighting for relegation. And this is a team that I feel it has just been established and inherited very vibrant fans of football down in Mangaung. I think, if anything, many supporters of football in South Africa will really want this team to do well, to stay in the league and establish themselves, because it's really a team that we want to go and watch, especially in Bloemfontein. Marumo Gallants, I think they should. I have a fear. Marumo Gallants are also undefeated in the past 4 games, but they are also winless in those past 4 games. They've drawn the past 4 games 1-1. The past 4 games, they've drawn 1-1. Before that, they had lost 2 games, one against Stellenbosch and the other one against Amazulu. After that, they went on a run of drawing 1-1 in 4 games in a row. In those 4 games included games against Kaizer Chiefs, which is the most recent game, and a game against Mamelodi Sundowns. So they are undefeated against serious, tough opponents in the form of Kaizer Chiefs and Mamelodi Sundowns. They also drew against Orbit College and also Polokwane City. So they're a difficult team to beat these Marumo Gallants. So I have a big fear for Coach Lehlono Losiema. I like Coach Losiema, and it's not looking good for his Siwelele side down there. Otherwise, let us know what you think of these games that we'll be playing over the weekend. Who do you think is going to emerge victorious? Especially the 2 games that I'm going to be watching very closely is the Kaizer Chiefs game, because it means much more for Kaizer Chiefs. They could be easily knocked out of that competition over the weekend. And the other game that I'm going to be paying a serious attention to is the game between Mamelodi Sundowns and Richards Bay, because of the run that Mamelodi Sundowns has had this season. So let us know what you think on the comment section. Otherwise, this has been Fans Corner. Thank you for your time. We meet again in the next one.